You guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to the Man Who Ruined Fortnite, itsJerian interview from B. Hronos, I think that's his name. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Link in the description. Subscribe definitely to him. Definitely a like for that. Let's get right into it. Comment down below if it is laggy. I'm sorry if it is. I don't know how to fix that. So let's get right into it.
If you've watched a Fortnite YouTube video before, chances are you've seen this guy's face. From a broke college student who couldn't even afford a PC, to one of the most hated YouTubers in all of Fortnite, to a multi-millionaire.
Now, my thing is wrong, but it is true. You can actually, you could actually go on one of his older videos, and he did tell this story.
Who is loved by everyone. This is the entire story of the man who ruined Fortnite, itsJerian.
I wouldn't say he ruined Fortnite. I would say that he has quit Fortnite or YouTube because he hasn't uploaded in 3 months. But I don't think he ruined Fortnite. He actually really popularized Fortnite for the pro players and all that because he really showed off the game tips and helped a lot of players get good.
itsJerian was born in Long Island, New York on August 14, 1997. Growing up, he enjoyed playing basketball and soccer, and he was actually a really good soccer player with offers from multiple colleges. But like a lot of people watching this video, he loved to play video games in his free time like Call of Duty and FIFA. Unlike most kids nowadays, itsJerian did not have a PC when he was younger, so he played everything on console. The one thing he's always loved to do was make videos and upload them on the internet. But since he was young and didn't have the equipment to make high quality videos, he had to find creative ways to get views on YouTube.
I had a FIFA channel, I had a Call of Duty community channel where I would take other people's montages, and it was like, a community, so I had like a bigger platform, but none of it was my original content. That was like my little business mind back then.
Without having any major success early on, he attended Boston College to pursue a degree in economics because he wanted to have a secure plan for his future. What he didn't know is that everything was about to change very soon. In September of 2017, during his junior year of college, Fortnite Battle Royale was released and he instantly fell in love with the game. For the first year of it being—
Now, a little thing he did, I don't know if he's going to say this, but he did start on PS4. A lot of people know how he plays on PC a lot, and he probably started watching him on PC because, but he actually, before thinking he was making videos, he did make, videos on PS4.
Being out, he only played on console and did not make any videos, but in his last year of college, he made an investment that would change his life forever.
I actually didn't get my first PC until I was 20.
What the heck?
21 technically, but I was turning 22. Because it was my senior year of.
I didn't get my first PC till I was 10, 9, somewhere around there. Or actually, I was like 7. I got my first PC back in 2020, Chapter 2, Season 1. And then I upgraded to console. So, and now look at us right now. And crazy, I am building a PC. So, yeah.
College, when I actually had enough money to buy one. But that was the first time.
I get it, man. You're in college, and colleges cost a lot of money to be in there, by the way. You don't get in there for free. You get accepted into it, but it has to cost a lot of money to be in it.
I got a PC, so whenever I see these little 13-year-old kids in my Twitter DMs saying, "Jerian, please buy me a PC," I didn't get one until I was 21, so.
By the way, itsJerian has never done an interview like this before, so all of this information can only be found in this video. Once he bought his PC, he decided to take another shot at making YouTube videos. This time, he put a lot of effort into making high-quality original content. Sadly, nobody believed that he could actually succeed at what he was doing, including his own brother.
One story that I always remember is my brother came down the stairs to me working on it, and he said, "Why are you making a video that no one is gonna watch? Like, why are you spending so much time on a video literally?"
Damn, that's a lot of humbleness, bro. I've never had anyone tell me that, why making content if no one's going to watch it. None of my siblings, none of my friends ever said that to me. So there's a lot of humbleness to get talked down on.
No one's gonna see.
Little did he know, this video would pull hundreds of thousands of views and be the start of something huge. The thing is, itsJerian had a pretty interesting strategy to help this video blow up.
Mongrel was blowing up in Fortnite, and of course.
Actually, too, one more thing before I know I'm sorry for pausing a lot, but Mongrel even called out itsJerian for promoting off him because even how there's a lot of videos online of itsJerian promoting himself on his channel. You always kind of see a thumbnail of Mongrel, at least in it, trying Mongrel's new mouse, trying settings, montages from Mongrel, something like that. He always promotes himself off of it.
course, Mongrel used Stretch Rez. He was like the best EU player by far. He was also like 13 years old or something. He was so young. And because he was so young and on Twitch, he had no moderators at all. His chat was a free-for-all. People were putting in cocks, people were putting in just the most random links.
Thank you for at least cutting that out. Cause that's so weird. Cause by the way, y'all, back then when you're really young, you don't have moderatings in your chat. Cause you're only 13 to have many moderators. So imagine someone puts a virus link, a corn link, or like the weird stuff or the N-word. You can't stop it because you have no moderators.
Ever. What my smart little brain thought was, what if I just self-promoted, my video in his chat, but I couldn't just go in there and be like, guys, watch this video. So what I did, I went in and I would press !res, which is a command to bring up his resolution, but because Mongrel had no mods, there was no command. So instead, I would reply to myself, pretending to be Nightbot, and I would say, Mongrel's resolution is, 1600 by 1080. If you want to learn more about his resolution, watch this video, and I left a link, and I would do that literally the entire day of my internship. I have to thank Mongrel for not having any mods and for making my career. Thank you, Mongrel.
After having his first viral video, he kept on going, but this is when he slowly transitioned into tips and tricks content. With the massive player base of Fortnite
That's what blew him up, because he made so many tip and trick videos.
Constantly growing,
And they were halfway because of Mongrel.
there were countless amounts of people trying to get better at the game. This meant it was the perfect time for Jerian to make these kinds of videos, and they would all pull hundreds of thousands of views. One of the biggest advantages he had was a real reason to want to succeed on YouTube.
Going into my senior year of college, when I bought the PC, I was working an internship, which is, just a summer job basically, but it's like a corporate job. I worked in New York City, and I was commuting over an hour because I live in Long Island, so I had to commute on the train. It was fucking miserable. So that, right there, I was like, I don't want to do this. I gotta make YouTube work somehow.
This motivation made him grind every hour of the day to produce the best videos possible, and he was uploading 3 to 4 times a week while still going to school full time. Everything was starting to come together as he was gaining hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views a video. Obviously, when you're pulling views like this, you make some pretty good money.
By the end of my senior year, after starting the itsJerian channel, I had over 100, maybe even over 200,000 subscribers. And I was making double what I would have at an actual job, so.
Since you're already playing games anyway,
Did end up graduating college in 2019, he will never have to use his degree for a real job. Life was looking fantastic, but the thing is, are you really a big YouTuber without having a little bit of controversy? Well, because of Jerian's tips and tricks videos, anybody could access information that only pro players knew about, so the overall skill level of the game started to increase. Fortnite went from a chill game you could play with your friends to an extremely sweaty game that you had to try hard in to compete. This led to a lot of people saying he ruined Fortnite, so I asked him what he thought about this.
I do think I sped up the process of people getting better. If you look at really any other games, I feel like, at least in Call of Duty, there was a guy named itsJerian who he had some goated tips and tricks, and he was always someone I looked up to while playing Call of Duty. So when Fortnite came around, what I sort of did the route of was I taught people the basics of the game, and then I sort of expanded and showed them, new tips, piece control, stuff like that. There was never a central place to find all of that information, so I tried to be that central source, and I do think because of that, I probably sped up the process of people getting better.
He actually did. So I used to watch all of his tips and tricks, which made me get better. But he did, if he never made tips and tricks videos, the process of Fortnite growing and getting better would have taken way slower than how it is now. So you kind of have to thank him if you used to watch him because he helped you out. But it did kind of get a little annoying because he sped up the process. With those tips and tricks, it was taking probably to 2021 to start getting to the meta.
I'll take the blame for making all these damn 13-year-olds cracked out of their damn minds, because now I can't even keep up.
Luckily, he didn't care what people had to say. He was motivated by the fear of working a 9-to-5 desk job his whole life, and he had no plans of slowing down. He reached 300,000 subs in November of 2019, 400,000 1 month later, then 500,000 subs in January of 2020, only 18 months after uploading his first video. Aside from the fact that he was producing great content that everybody wanted to see, there was another thing contributing to his rapid growth. That was the beef he had with pro player itsJerian. The beef randomly started after itsJerian tweeted this saying he actually hates Jerian. Once this happened, they would constantly go back and forth on social media, arguing and taking shots at each other. In the public's eyes, it seemed like they genuinely disliked each other, but behind the scenes, it was a different story.
Now, if you just watch the day in life, you actually know what means I took his extra. That's what he means, you know.
Story.
I never actually disliked him, and I don't think he ever disliked me, because at the end of it, when he was about to quit, we made a video where we played arena, and we were always cool. We always followed each other on Twitter. We were never, blocking each other, or there was no disdain. People love beef, so if you get beef, it's huge. And in Fortnite, there was never a content creator beefing with a pro player. Most of the beef would be on Twitter. If itsJerian tweeted something, I'd go in and I'd say ratio, and then all of my followers would like it, and we'd try to get more likes than his tweet. I would have his notifications on, so anytime I would see a tweet, he'd say we got 3rd place in this tournament, I would say only 3rd, ratio. If I would see someone really bad,
I remember that. He used to say it every single video. He would start off with, make sure you follow my Twitter, ratio, and everyone on there. So he used to say
instead of saying they're a bot, I'd say, oh, he's a itsJerian. One example, my dog took a poop. I picked it up and I'd say, hey guys, look, she took a itsJerian. None of it was ever planned. I never told itsJerian we should beef. All of that was authentic. I just didn't actually hate him.
On October 19th of 2020, Jerian would reach 1 million subscribers in only 2 years after uploading his first video. The beef with itsJerian had such a massive effect on his channel's growth that his 1 million subscriber special started with a 2-minute montage making fun of him.
By the way, itsJerian was already washed. I'm sorry, no hate to itsJerian, but itsJerian, you were kind of washed during Chapter 2, bro. He could not keep with the meta. And hey, you can disagree with me, bro, but hey, guys, itsJerian, you were trash in Chapter 2. Chapter 1 itsJerian was prime, but not Chapter 2.
Bruh.
Hey, no.
Jerian is the GOAT.
After a couple years of fully focusing on content creation, he wanted to switch things up and started playing the game a lot more. This made him start to take competitive a bit more seriously, and he ended up getting his first and only earnings during the Frosty Frenzy in Chapter 2 Season 5. This placement made him want to keep grinding comps, so he formed a trio with 2 decent players at the time, Speedy and Taken. In their time playing together, they had a few decent placements, which made for some really good content. Of course, with Jerian's massive platform, Taken absolutely blew up, but this story does not have a happy ending. One day, Taken logged on and he was banned from Fortnite. He told everybody that it was a false ban, and obviously Jerian believed him because he had no reason to cheat. Because of this, he contacted Epic Games in order to help resolve the issue, but it turned out Taken was actually cheating. At this point, Jerian felt like he got taken advantage of, so he was rightfully upset. It also didn't help that Taken went live after the situation unfolded and said this.
Garbage from saying that I got banned. So you guys know I played with Jerian and I only had 20k subs before I got banned. I got banned, I got 60k subs and made so much money off Twitch and YouTube. Way more than I made with playing with Jerian, not getting banned. So it's called a marketing strat, and I'm smart. That's how it is.
Oh my god. So he never liked Jerian, and he took advantage. You guys don't want to get it. He took advantage of Jerian by playing with him. He said he makes no money with playing Jerian. So then when he got banned and Jerian stopped playing with him, he made more money because of the video, and they went to him and started subscribing and made more on Twitch. So, like I said, he's getting taken advantage of.
I played with Jerian, same old thing.
Since this happened 3 years ago, I was curious if he still had any bad blood towards Taken.
Taken, he did me dirty. He sort of never really apologized until months or maybe even a year later. At which point I do accept his apology. I'm not like angry at him, more so disappointed, like in a father way, but it's one of those things where you forgive, but you don't forget. We learned a tough lesson that really you can't trust anyone. It doesn't matter if it's Fortnite, if it's real life, if it's anything. You can't trust nobody.
Although one of his good friends completely betrayed his trust, Jerian continued using his platform to help out other people. To this day, one thing he does is make videos with lesser known players to give them the opportunity to showcase their skills. He actually made videos with tons of pro players who were unknown at the time, including Peterbot and me. Well, I'm not a pro, but I did get 1 million arena points, and if it wasn't for Jerian making videos showcasing that, I would not have gained the following that I did from it.
Do you think you made Bronos' career?
I think Bronos made his own career, but like in everything, you know, sort of like people getting better at the game, I think I pushed him a little bit. Gave him that little push.
Over the last 2 years, his content has changed a little bit, but even with the tips and tricks videos losing popularity, his channel still performs as good as ever. I think this just comes down to the fact that he is a very positive and likable guy. So now that he's accomplished just about everything he's wanted to, what's next for Jerian?
I don't see myself not making Fortnite content in the future. I really still do like it. One of my goals is to expand into FIFA, which I did a little bit at the beginning of the year. I got like 10 million views plus on TikTok, which I think is pretty good. If I don't make videos anymore, this might sound ominous. I'll either be dead or Forever Zone Wars will be bigger than the pit and I'll just be on an island in the Bahamas. But I most likely will be making videos for the foreseeable future, as well as being more consistent, because I have not been consistent.
Hey, now that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. I know I didn't, put the whole thing, but hey, Jerian, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Bronos and itsJerian. These are guys who I like watching. They're really fun. They're likable guys. I actually met Jerian once, no cap, in a Fortnite duo game, but it's when I didn't have a channel. So, but anyways, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure like, subscribe, and see you guys later. And